What am I doing? A lot of singing, a lot of dancing, a lot of naked. Right. Hey E.T., this is James Marsden, and this is my E.T. retrospective.
Hi.
Hello!
The nanny. My very first job ever, actually. I was, oh boy, 19 years old. Early on, I was in some of those like teeny bop magazines, and Jimmy sounded kind of, I guess, younger, and I was, you know, starting to feel a little more arrogant as an adult, and like, I need to be taken seriously as an actor, so I'm going to James. When I was younger, James is also my father's name, and it just sounded very fatherly in it. So, but yeah, Jimmy got shed, I don't know, early 2000s maybe after XMen.
Cyclops, right?
Flash forward to XMen. This was the project that sort of catapulted me into, you know, whatever, people knowing who the hell I was. That kind of put me on the map in Hollywood, and people knew who I was, and whether, you know, it was Hugh Jackman's show for sure, and it just obviously sent him into the stratosphere. But what a great family, what a great opportunity to tick a lot of boxes off there, and still to this day, I think it's probably the thing I get noticed for the most, X-Men.
All right, back up.
There was a time or two my son dressed up as Cyclops for Halloween. I think that was a fun thing for them to do. But they also kind of ribbed me about it too, like, you're such a wimp in that movie. Oh wow, Ally McBeal. What am I doing there? My God. Boy. They didn't hire me for the dancing, that's for sure.
Talked with David Kelly, and he said, that's really why we hired you, because your dancing skills, and you do a lot of music and dancing on the set.
Just made that joke! I don't know, I've just never taken myself too seriously, and obviously you want the work to be good, but anytime you're just presented with these situations where you're dancing without music or doing something silly, it's like that's the life of an actor.
Yes, the rich kid. Over there? I guess.
Okay, here we go, The Notebook, the movie that no one thought would become what it's become. In the 50s and 60s, when people would say Casablanca is the most romantic movie, and like now a younger generation would, if you think of what's the most romantic movie that comes to mind, most people would say The Notebook. And so I feel very proud to be a part of it, even if I'm, you know, the other guy.
As you mentioned.
Which, you're gonna go on to the next projects, and we're gonna get on that theme. I can't wait.
I'm wondering if I could take you out.
I thought that was absurd, that scene. I was like, Nick was like, you're so pretty, let's mess you up a bit. And there he did, certainly. What comes to mind when I think of this is I was sitting at a cafe and off Broadway, and I got a tap on my shoulder, and Julia Roberts said, hey, I just didn't mean to interrupt, but I wanted to let you know that you're in my favorite movie of all time, which was The Notebook.
He sings and dances in the movie, and I didn't know that he could sing or dance.
All right, so here we are on Hairspray. This is doing, I guess, the press junket for it. Look at little Zach, he's just a 12-year-old. My God, so tiny. Yeah, that was such a party. Hairspray was a blast, maybe the most fun I've ever had on a movie, because we were all just there having a good time. I just remember that smile was plastered on my face even when we weren't filming. It was just so much fun. I was always trying to surprise people with my choices and do something that, you know, how do I get people to see other sides of me that they didn't necessarily see in like The Notebook or X-Men, and Hairspray came along and it was like, I got this.
Pure and sweet, waiting to complete.
Oh yes, Enchanted. When this script came along, rarely do I read something and just, without a doubt, go, I know exactly how to play this character. And it just came to me, and I went, you're not gonna find somebody else. And usually I'm the opposite. I'm not that confident. I'm not a big wardrobe change guy. How do I just stay in one suit and be happy with it, even if it's big, ridiculous sleeves, puffy sleeves? I'm fine with it. But it was an event when I had to go to the restroom. It was a whole event. But that was great. I mean, I remember, speaking of The Notebook, going back to The Notebook, I remember running into Ryan and Rachel, and Ryan goes, did I see you on top of a bus in a print suit and tights in Times Square? I said, yes, sir, that was me. We can't all have your Oscar-winning projects. And he's like, are you kidding me? He goes, I would do that in a heartbeat.
I loved your thong, by the way.
Hitting the highlights here. Okay, wow, 27 Dresses. Yeah, 27 Dresses is another one that if I'm walking down the street, everyone asks, like, what do you get recognized for the most? And 27 Dresses is definitely one of those. It was the last day of shooting. We shot till 5 in the morning. And yeah, it was kind of like we were having the rap party for the last most important scene of the movie. And I think you kind of see that. Like, there's a real organic sense of fun to this scene. And Katie and I had a great time on that movie, and we got to be really close friends, and it was like, this was like us just letting loose, having a great time. And to this day, if I'm in a bar, it's always like, a tequila shot will get sent over, and then Benny and the Jets, question mark? Oh boy, Sex Drive. Also known as the movie that we can't watch or show to anyone nowadays, else we would all be canceled.
Hopefully my fans won't just like take off and run for the hills after this one.
There was some sort of liberating thing of feeling like you're doing a project that no one was gonna see. and because I thought that it was like, who's gonna see this movie? I'm just gonna go for it. And I went for it, and it was like Will Ferrell calling me up going, your role in Sex Drive was hilarious. Do you want to come be an Anchorman? I was like, sure.
Well, hello, Ron.
Jack Live.
Anchorman II.
It was a living hell.
Nice little whimper there. That was Will's favorite moment, by the way, when I do that little whimper. But he said, hey, come, if you're interested, we're doing a read-through of the second Anchorman. I thought, oh, God, I don't want to. That's some pressure, because I was a huge fan of the original Anchorman, and we did the read-through, and I remember thinking, boy, you better knock it out, like with your first line, because it was the first line from Jack Lame is his biggest line in the movie, and I remember Jonah Hill and Seth Rogen and this massive audience of people that I just respected. Judd Apatow's sitting there, and they're filming the read-through, like we're all at a table and it's being filmed with an audience of 40 people. And the first line is I call out across the newsroom to him like, can I help you, guy?
Can I help you, guy?
Something like that. And it just, like, people lost it. It was the absurdity of shouting at this guy and calling him guy. So then afterwards, Will was like, you got the role, man. Come play with us. So. Death at a Funeral. None of this is scripted. It's just like, Neil LaBute, who directed this, was like, have a great time. You're high. You know, as an actor, it's like vanity is the thing that will keep you in shape. Knowing that you have a sex scene or like a shirtless scene, like that's gonna keep you in the gym. So I was like, as long as I, look like I'm in shape. And Neil, when I got to set, he was like, well, this is almost not funny because like you're too in shape. Like, why would this guy have this? So,
is it true Chris Pine auditioned for this role?
So Chris, I've known for a while, and Chris was there when we did the read-through. And Chris read, I think, Wilson's role in the read-through, but he really wanted my role. Not my role, I mean the role I was, campaigning for. And after the read-through, he was like, he's like, I want this role so bad. And he was like, they're giving it to you. And I was like, well, get used to it, because you're gonna get a whole slew of roles that I'm not gonna get. I'll trade you.
Yeah.
I'll trade you my Death at a Funeral for Star Trek or whatever.
Do you remember now, Teddy?
Westworld. I remember that moment feeling like I'd lost a bet or something. Hey, if you lose this bet, you have to do a 3-page scene with Anthony Hopkins fully nude. I'm fully nude. Anthony Hopkins is not fully nude. He's fully dressed.
Did you understand the plot of Westworld by the time you finished shooting Westworld?
Hang on a second. No. As long as I know where my character is at the moment, what he's going through, that's the most important thing. And then I'll watch the show and try to put the pieces together like everyone else is.
Come on, honey, you don't know what you're doing. I'm not going anywhere.
Yes, dead to me. I was only supposed to be on for the first season. I was only supposed to play Steve, and then that was it. And the show became a big success. I was like, I don't want this party to end. So, is he really dead? What can we do? I remember Christina, she and I have this great rapport. We sort of make fun of each other. And she's, we stepped foot on the set for the first day of the second season. She goes, twin, huh? I go, yeah. She goes, good luck.
Meow?
Sonic the Hedgehog. Early on, we got into some like, you know, sticky areas with the design of the character, and we thought, oh boy, this is, you know, already we got our work cut out for us to get the audience into it. I remember going to the premiere, and I had Jim Carrey sitting next to me, and Ben Schwartz here to my left, and Tika was right in front of me. And about 15 minutes into the movie, we all looked at each other and were like, this is actually really good. Who knew?
And now James has another surprise hit on his hands, Jury Duty. Streaming now on Freevee. James, as himself, is on a fake jury listening to a fake case. Everyone is an actor except for juror number 6, Ronald, who doesn't know it's all pretend.
Jury duty.
It matters to me. Just tell me who got it. Don't say Chris Pine. Damn it!
I want to be able to say this stuff in the day-to-day, but I can't, right? Because I'll either get arrested or I'll get punched.
Feel like I don't really want it.
Oh my God!
Let's all feel sorry for the guy from The Notebook. Who's not even the guy from The Notebook.
This scene was the toughest to film of the entire show. And in the script, it says Marsden comes in and just destroys the birthday party. Pops every balloon, throws cake at people like just a full-on tantrum brat. But I made a commitment early on, like, I can't make this guy feel bad. I can't make him be the butt of the joke. And as soon as I flipped that cake, I saw out of the corner of my eye his head kind of hang. And I was like, oh, I've disappointed him and I've upset him. So that was really difficult. And so then I pulled back a bit. I didn't go nuts and just destroy the rest of the birthday party. Making fun of and lampooning your sort of cliche, pompous, egocentric Hollywood actor who thinks that they're doing the Lord's work. It's like, where do I sign?